Are you tired of staring at your pile of Lego bricks with no idea of what to build?
We've all been there. In this video, we're going to show you how to find inspiration for your next custom Lego build.
Whether you're building for fun or as a serious hobby, these ideas will help you create unique and engaging Lego builds. Let's jump right in. Movies offer a huge amount of inspiration being such a visual medium. Always plenty of exciting settings, scenery, and characters that can inspire your own creations. I'm personally a big fantasy lover, so movies like How to Train Your Dragon and Lord of the Rings offer some tremendous inspiration for unique settings and buildings to try and recreate or create my own spin on in my own models.
Lego contests and challenges are another great way to get inspiration. They oftentimes have themes or restrictions for you to work off of, and since creativity works best in constraints, this can be a great way to approach a build. There are quite a few contests that pop up every year in the Lego community, such as the Summer Joust, the Colossal Castle Contest, and Brixcalibur, just to name a few, although those are mainly in the castle theme. There's also Vignette Week, which is hosted by Rebellug, and lots of others that pop up throughout the year. BrickNerd is an excellent resource to check what contests are currently going on, as every month they have a roundup of what contests are running in the LEGO community.
If you're feeling a little bored with your usual model approach, maybe try mashing a couple different things together in an unusual way to create something unique. So for instance, instead of just building a castle, you might build a castle that's floating in the sky, or a castle that's underwater. And you can do that with any sort of theme that you're passionate about, and hook it to something else that's fun and interesting to create a really unique and engaging model. The LEGO community also houses quite a few different theme months, where in a particular month, for instance February, you might be challenged to build rovers for Febrovery, or in September you might be challenged to build a huge spaceship over 100 studs long for Shiptember. Theme months are a super fun opportunity to build in the same vein as a bunch of other builders all at the same time from all around the world, and this can really spark each other's imagination and help create some amazing models.
One of my absolute favorite ways to get inspiration for a build is looking at concept art. Pinterest, ArtStation, DeviantArt, Google search, there's lots of great ways to find it, and there's so many possibilities and great images out there of concept art. I love searching for a specific topic that I want to build on, whether that be a fantasy cottage, or a character, or a landscape, and just seeing what pops up. If you're more into sci-fi, you can look up sci-fi concept art for different vehicles and spaceships and things, or if you're interested in architecture or buildings, so many possibilities, and there's tons of great concept art out there.
Seed parts are a great way of thinking outside the box. So for instance, if you don't have a particular subject you want to build, maybe just find a couple elements that you think are interesting and could be fun to try and work into your creation, and then see what comes as you're building with those specific pieces and what feels natural as you progress the model from there. I did this recently with a rover for Febrovery and had a lot of fun working with some wacky yellow elements and not having a clear idea from the start where to go with it, but just letting those elements guide the process. It's a very unique building experience as opposed to having a definite subject in mind and working towards that end, and it can be a lot of fun.
One source of inspiration that almost never fails for me is nature. Being inspired by the different seasons, whether that be spring, summer, fall, or winter, the different landscapes, whether it be a giant rock face, a cliff, a waterfall, the ocean, anything really, a stream running through a forest, a tree, all the different animals. There's so many things to be inspired by in nature, and sometimes just taking a walk outside can be all you need to get your creative juices flowing and excited to build something new.
This next idea is a perfect one if you want to hit some nostalgia, and it involves revamping or reimagining existing LEGO themes. This can be a super fun way to revisit favorite sets from your childhood and add a new interesting take on that existing theme. I've loved doing this in the past couple of years with different themes like Exoforce, Power Miners, Alpha Team, and so on, and it's a really fun way to relive those childhood memories of playing with sets.
So what if you don't necessarily have a specific theme you want to build in, but you still know you want to make something new with your LEGO pieces? Creating a build based off of a specific color combination can be a great way to approach it. Using some of your more exotic or rare or unusual LEGO colors in combination can force you to be more creative, as oftentimes we don't necessarily have the largest amount of parts variety in these colors, and that can help dictate what you build.
Another great source of inspiration can be fun or interesting combinations of elements that you discover that could fit really well as a specific detail in something. So you might find a few slopes combined to give a really nice organic shape that you want to use on a spaceship, or maybe you find a cool combination of tiles and offsets to make a perfect stone wall. Coming up with new techniques and designs this way can help push you to finish a model that perhaps you would not have been inspired to take on otherwise.
Books can be an amazing source of inspiration in two ways. Traditional books, with just text, can really get your imagination going with the descriptions they paint. And if you have illustrated books, oftentimes the illustrations are amazing sources of inspiration. A few of my favorites are classic fairy tales and books by David Macaulay, such as Castle or Cathedral. But there's endless opportunities to be inspired by books.
Another very obvious source of inspiration is other people's custom models. And this is one I come back to again and again. When I'm browsing through Flickr and I see a build that really pops and gets me excited to make my own rendition of something along those lines, or maybe take a color combination or technique from it, it can really help keep you engaged and involved in the hobby. And there's a ton of sources to find inspiration from other people's works. There's different forums dedicated to specific genres. There's large forums like Eurobricks that cover everything. There's Flickr, of course, and Flickr has a great function called galleries where you can often find builds grouped by subject that other people have found engaging, and so many different places to discover amazing LEGO models to inspire your own builds.
One source of inspiration that both Isaac and I have been really enjoying recently is board games. Many board games have amazing illustrations and concept art on the cards included in the game or on the board itself. One of our personal favorites is Everdell, but there's countless games out there that could inspire your next build.
Real-life buildings are another excellent source of inspiration. They're around us every day, and if we just take time to examine them, we can often find some really interesting facades or detailing in the masonry or brickwork, or even stuff like the overall layout to inspire our own creations. And again, this is around us every single day, no matter where you live, and there's tons of inspiration to be found there. You can also, of course, look up things online if you want to have a specific sort of inspiration. If you want to look at skyscrapers to influence perhaps some more sci-fi buildings, or rural cottages to spark some imagination for a medieval scene. So no matter the kind of building you're looking at or the sort of scene you're looking to create, you can find a lot of great inspiration from real-life architecture.
This next source of inspiration is one that I only tried recently within the past couple of years, but had a ton of fun doing. Challenging yourself to build something within a certain part restriction can be an amazing way to force your creativity and imagination to come through. Back in 2021, I participated in the Rogue Olympics, which has a piece limitation of 101 parts for all of your builds. Building something with such a low parts limitation can be a great way to get your creative juices flowing and just have fun with a new build. You could choose to use 101 parts as your limitation, or make it really challenging for yourself and just use 5, 10, 25, whatever you feel like doing.
If you feel like you're stuck building the same thing over and over again, this last tip is a great way to fix that. And it's simply changing the scale you're building in. So if you're most used to building in minifigure scale, maybe you change it up with a micro scale build or a larger than figure scale build. In any case, shifting the scale you're building in really changes the way you look at individual elements and how you approach the scene.
All of these really only just scratch the surface of what you can be inspired by, but we hope it helps you get inspiration for your next build. And if you want 3 simple tips to help improve your next model, check out this video right here. Catch you in the next one.